everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Tenaj Nikki, and today we are doing a big clean and organization with me. I am going to be redoing some things in my kitchen, mostly the spice drawer or spice cabinet to spice drawer, and also repurposing my vanity with all of these really cool items that I got from different discount stores, including Target and the Dollar Tree. So if you're interested in content like that, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're subscribing, make sure you click the notification bell so you're notified of everything I have coming out here on YouTube. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm showing you all of the materials I plan on using in this organization. Some are from Dollar Tree, some are from Target, that I ordered off Amazon, that came from Goodwill. So it's a good hodgepodge of things that I plan on using to kind of just redo my space and make it a little bit more cohesive. So these are the clear glass jars that I plan on using to decant all the spices and make it look all pretty and uniform. So I was showing you how I'm using a bottle opener to kind of like pop off the tops. I found this to be the easiest way to get all of them off. I believe it came with 38 total, so it's a good bit to do. And you see I have them all separated there, and I'm going to be putting them in my dishwasher. They did appear to be clean, but I just wanted to sanitize them and give me peace of mind, so they're going to head into the dishwasher. So while that's going, I'm going to be showing you guys the drawers that I plan on reorganizing to make space for the new spice drawer. This one I've always had kind of trouble with, especially with that potato smasher just like in the way. So I'm going to be doing that drawer and this one. This is actually going to be the new spice drawer. I have it organized now with these different individual organizers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make room so I can have a spice drawer. These are currently all the dry spices I plan on putting in there. You can see it's overflowing, there's a lot going on. And I have some that are overflowing on top as well. In the middle were the wet spices. I don't plan on doing anything with those in particular, just because there's so many and it just makes sense to leave those alone. So right now I'm just taking everything out. It's always great to see your inventory. And I started this because I was really tired of buying the same thing that I already had and not knowing it existed. That's really annoying to me, and I also just want things to be kind of uniform. The way it is now, it was just hard to keep up with everything, so that's the whole reason for me doing this. We have a lot of spices in our home, and I feel like all of them being in one uniform place will encourage us using them better. So I will have overflow, and I plan on still using those two spaces in the cabinet. I'm going to be showing you guys the labels that came with the purchase of these spice jars. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I didn't realize it had so many, or that there was even more than one version. I thought I was going to be using these on top of the spice jars, but they just didn't match in detail. The reason I'm using this spice label is because it was so precise. It had, I do not know how many it is, but it's a lot. And even for the ones that it does not have, you can make them by using that white marker that I was showing you all there. And I will have to do that for one of the spices. So this is the plastic spice rack. I will again link everything that I got that I can link in the description box below. I really like this one because it's expandable. I did do the measurements and everything to make sure that this would fit in here, and it does overlap. It's not a perfect fit, but that's the whole point of it being expandable. So I really am happy that I was able to get something like this because I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to look inside the drawer, but it came out really well. So with our spice jars being done now, I'm just leaving them out a little bit to air dry. They do stay a little bit damp, but it was dry enough for me to decant later. So now this is just the clearing out process and figuring out how things are going to be fitting into their new homes. Right here I'm using the LA Awesome multi-purpose spray. I love this stuff. I showed it earlier in a Dollar Tree haul video, and I use it kind of all over. I really do enjoy using that. So now it's $1.25, but it's still a good deal if you ask me. And this is what the drawer looks like now with the spice rack inside. So now this is the other clearing process that I'm getting rid of. Well, I'm not getting rid of them. I'm just going to be moving them around. And I'm going to be also clearing out and cleaning this drawer as well. So now I'm showing you guys two of the organizers that I'm using from the Dollar Tree. This is a drawer that's really tough to get into. You see me struggling a bit. So only things that I'm hardly ever going to use is going to go in that drawer. And this is another drawer by the sink. So I had all these extra drawers around that I wasn't using or using all the space for. So I was lucky enough to have the extra space without actually having to declutter much. So here I'm kind of reorganizing my cutlery drawer. I was putting all the knives that were in the previous drawer into this one. And you see my little buddy Mojo. He's always in the kitchen trying to see if I'm serving him up something. So I'm washing my hands now because I did pet my dog. But also I'm going to be starting the decanting process soon. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of get that out the way. So I'm using some glass cylinder vases from the Dollar Tree. I've actually had these for a very long time. I have several still that are left over. And I'm going to be putting some of the cooking utensils inside there. I didn't really have a rhyme or reason as to what was going to go where, but it did make sense to put the black and then the wood on top of the countertop because it actually matched the countertop. So it kind of worked out that way. And I was thinking, oh, since we're making this intentional, let's make it pretty too. So I have some stones because I'm a crafter and I just have stuff like this lying around. So this did come from the Dollar Tree, but again, I didn't buy it specifically for this. It just, I don't know, it goes. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting stones at the bottom so it doesn't necessarily hit the glass when you're taking the utensils out for cooking. So the new spice drawer is where I was holding all of the measuring cups and spoons before. So old Dollar Tree hack of putting a command strip inside the door and hanging up the spoons. That's what I'm doing here. So now I'm going to be showing you that drawer that didn't have that much in there before. It's kind of like all of like the cutting stuff that's not knives that's going in there. And the other one has like back clips and disposable chopsticks and stuff like that that's in there that I just don't use that often. So that's why I can go into a drawer that's a little stuck. So here I'm kind of like, the idea was label as much as you can see off the bat. The only one that I saw that I had to create was the Total Sazon by Goya. They just didn't have that one. But every other spice that I had, even down to like the Cajun seasoning and Old Bay spice and the curry, everything was already there. Even poultry seasoning. You see, this is one that I bought, I don't know from where, but it was already in a glass jar that's almost identical to the ones that I have. So I figured, why not just put the label on top of it since it really matches. And this would fit side by side in the drawer with everything else, but it actually didn't fit because all of them didn't fit into the spice drawer. So here I just decided this was the best way to go about it, putting all of the tops next to the seasoning. So when the decanting process goes, I can just grab what's kind of right next to it and keep going. It did take me a second to kind of figure this out for myself, but I would suggest doing something similar if you all plan on doing this as well. So now the decanting process begins. I am using the green flex funnel that came with the order from Amazon. I do have other funnels. I have like hard ones and another flexible one, but I actually enjoy using the specific one because you are able to kind of squeeze things down if you needed to. So I actually do suggest using the one that comes with the order. So there are times where I'm going to be mixing spices. You see the consistency is a little different between the two because they're different brands. I would suggest mixing them, like physically shaking them together to make them the same consistency if that's something that bothers you. Another thing to note is that you will get kickback with, pouring all of the spices into a tiny little jar. It just happens. Maybe wearing a mask would help because you do sneeze. You might cough a little bit. So just something to think about. There's going to be spice in the air, and it might make your nose act a little funny. But other than that, this was a very satisfying process to do. And even with the overflow, I still feel like there is now a system in place where I know where if I'm going to be getting something else or something expires or something like that, I know exactly how I'm going to be replacing each of these spices. Now, did I mention before I had a lot of spices? I'm still going. There's still more spices. Again, I think it came with 38 empty jars. I did use all of them, and I still had more. One of the things I decided to do was to actually use the ones that had glass jars already, like maybe an organic brand that had a glass jar. I just decided to put some of the black label on top of it to kind of like just keep using that glass jar. And you know, like when I replace it, I will just go to like the farmers markets to get loose spices versus the little jars, since now I have the system. Now it's time to put the jars into the drawer, and I quickly realized I had it upside down because I couldn't read the labels. So my idea was to put the ones that are hardly ever used in the very back, and kind of just keep that idea of the ones that are used the most on the very front row, and then the ones that are least used further back. You see me attempting to kind of put more of the spices in there. I promise you, if my drawer was a little bit bigger, all of them would fit, but it doesn't, so it's fine. And this is the before, what it looked like, and here's the after. It is so satisfying to open that drawer and see this organization. It's super satisfying. Very proud of myself for completing this. And again, remember I told you the overflow, this is where it's being housed at the moment. And I probably will get some more, not necessarily making a drawer, but maybe like a turntable or something like that, where I can put these extra spices where they're still more easily accessible versus just being in the cabinet as it is. The dried mint here is an example of one of the spices that were in glass jars that I'm just putting the black label on top of it because I didn't see the need to decant these. So these are just, like I said, the overflow, and they're much easier to get to now than they were before. The spice jars at the very top are the ones that are in the drawer, but these are the leftovers from those. So this hands and dishes soap dispenser set came from the dollar spot at Target. It was both of them together for $5, so I feel that's a fantastic deal. The black, with it being labeled and everything, is so trending right now, so I thought it was very cute to get. And plus, like I said before, the black matches my countertops. So I am just kind of like, you know, decanting and refilling. That soft soap was so thick. You guys, like, I was not prepared for that. You can see it made a bit of a mess, and I had to almost like paste it to go in there. But it doesn't feel like that when it's coming out. Like, you know, obviously I've used it since this video, and it doesn't feel like it's that thick. So I don't know. But because it was soap, it was easy to clean, and it looks really good by my sink. Now I am cleaning the pot holder that I got for $1.29 at Goodwill, and I plan on using this in the bathroom. So now I'm taking you all into the master bath. This is the vanity, and I simply just have outgrown it. There are so many products, and it's time to get this under control. So this is the bathroom. It is a separate shower and bath, so it's a lot of extra space for a lot of things to go, and you can easily overdo it, and I feel like that's kind of what happened here. So the process is let's clear everything out, see what we're working with, see if I'm going to declutter. Spoiler, I do not declutter anything in here. No, I take that back. I do declutter like 3 things. But out of like literally the 40 things I have to put on my vanity, it doesn't seem like a lot. So I'm just cleaning here with some bathroom cleaner. And when I do a deep clean of the bathroom, I use this cleaning trick. This is Barbasol shaving cream, the regular kind, no scented anything. Well, it does have a scent to it, but the original. And I got it from this small can from the dollar store. The Barbasol genuinely polishes the nickel furnishings that I have here. The first time I tried it, I was absolutely blown away, and I'm going to show you guys in a moment what it looks like. It looks like it's brand new, and I use this trick every time, like I said, when I'm doing a deep clean. Now the next product I'm using is a glass cleaner that's a spray from the Dollar Tree. This one does have ammonia in it. I do have another one that is ammonia free that I got from Walmart. I like that one too, but this one is just immaculate. Chef's kiss. It works so wonderfully and no streaks whatsoever. And here's a close-up of the sink after using the Barbasol to polish the nickel. It looks fantastic. I highly suggest using this trick. So now that the vanity is all clean, I'm going to be figuring out how I want to put everything that I have here to repurpose all the space that I have on this huge vanity. So these are the different items that I got. The large shelf in the corner came from Amazon. Link will be in the description box below. Everything else came from the dollar spot from Target. All of them were $5 each. And I honestly didn't know how I was going to place all this stuff. I didn't know, but I was kind of figuring it out. All the containers I'm using are old candle holders. You see that's like a $3 candle that you can get from Walmart that I just cleaned out, and now I'm putting cotton pads into them. So I suggest using the things that you have around the house. I think you'd be surprised at the different items that you could be repurposing. You guys see that large speaker that I got? That actually came from Five Below. It was 10 bucks. It's a Bluetooth wireless speaker. So you know when you're having concerts in the bathroom, it has the full effect on it. So that's why that speaker is here. Now I'm using the containers that are former candles. I'm using that to house all of the bath salts that I have. This is the final reveal. These little shelves came so in handy. I again didn't see exactly how it was going to work out, but I love this setup. Everything is still visible and accessible, but it still looks put together. So now I have to clean the rest of the bathroom because the vanity is so awesome. So I'm here just cleaning my shower door with that same spray that I cleaned the mirror with, and the bathroom cleaner gets the same treatment, as well as the holder that had all the stuff for the bath on the side. That came from TJ Maxx. It's like maybe $15 or so. It's really helpful to house all the things that you'd have on your bath. So yeah, this was just a really great process, again, because of that fantastic foam cleaner. I do use an extendable like scrubbing brush. I got that from Target. I highly suggest getting one. I don't want to clean my tub any other way from now on. If I can find it, I'll also link that in the description box below. So because I used these different scrubbers to clean my tub and I just had them laying about, I'm going to be using this trick. That is a book ring that I am putting through the tip of my scrubber, and that makes it very easy to hang. And I'm going to be using command strips on the back of the door here. It's technically the closet door, but it's also the bathroom closet door. And that's how I'm going to be storing both of the tools I use to clean the bathroom. It's just really accessible, and it's a way of using vertical space as well. And that really cute basket came from Goodwill, maybe $3 or so. Now the towels aren't just laying there, but I can get them much easier than before. I'm going to show you guys the before. Remember what we were dealing with. And here is the after. It's my little Oasis. I absolutely love it. I am very proud of myself, and just having all these pieces where I can see everything. The organization makes sense to me. Nothing really seems out of place, but I can also just grab what I need to grab for my skincare, when I'm using, all of my teeth whitening things that I love to use, hair care, everything. It's just all out there, and it's easy for me to get to, but it also looks really good. One last thing to show you guys. Those are some little puck lights that you can get from Five Below. I stuck it in the corner there because it was a little dark, and plus I had some paintings in there, so you wanted to be able to see them. And it's very relaxing when you're making a bubble bath, and again, it's a little oasis to go to. Alright guys, that was it. I am super proud of myself. I love the way everything looks, and I hope that you enjoyed that too. So if you enjoy content like this, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below which was your favorite part. What item are you surprised that I was able to get? Subscribe to the channel, and if subscribing, make sure you click the notification bell so you're notified of everything I have coming out here on YouTube. Also share. Sharing with a friend really helps my channel grow. Follow me on social media. I'm at Tenaj Nikki. That is on Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.